What is up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. Today I have a cool review on the Sceptre C30 ultra-wide curved gaming monitor. I just picked it up. I've been really doing a lot of research on monitor stuff, and I've really wanted to get into the market of an ultra-wide just so I could do multiple screens, maybe be a little bit more productive when I'm doing things, and having a little bit more real estate when it comes to the wide picture that you get with an ultra-wide. So I'm super excited to bring it to you. Hopefully stay tuned for the whole video and get all the information that you can from this video. DJ Martini Midwest Reviews brings you reviews on all kinds of items. I try to do valued items. I try to do anything I can get my hands on and bring it to you as simple as possible. Do all the research so you don't have to, and then leave some links in case you guys are interested in any of these products. So thank you so much for tuning in. DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. Please like, subscribe, and share. And let's get into this video on the ultra-wide because I got a lot of information on this product. So I picked up the Sceptre C30 ultra-wide curved gaming monitor from Amazon. It was $234. And trust me, I did a lot of research, went through a lot of different products that I'll talk to you later, and had to make the hard decision on what I wanted to pick up for the money I had. And I think this is the best value out there right now, currently on Amazon at $234. Now it fluctuates in between about $250 and maybe even a less. You might be able to find it. But this is the greatest value in my opinion after the research I did, because I'll tell you about all the specs and stats that it has. So I'm going to kind of just go over some basics with you right away that you just see on the box. First, it does have the 25 by 60 by 1080 resolution, which is pretty decent resolution. It is HD quality, high definition quality, but it's not 2K or 4K monitor at all. So it does not have the pixels of that many, but it does have full HD quality. It is also an ultra wide, so it's going to pick up more real estate, stretching out your screen a little bit more wide, but you're going to be losing a little bit from the top, but we'll talk about that later. It does have a 200 hertz refresh rate, which is really good when it comes to gaming, so that's definitely a positive. And it has a 1 second motion pixel response, so basically that is like how fast your pixels on your screen will appear and disappear. That is a pretty good response time on that, which will, you know, cut away some of your motion blur and ghosting and things like that. Now, this also has AD FreeSync, which is a kind of a feature that assists your graphics card in giving you the best performance from your screen, and it does it on its own. You just turn that on, and it basically is going to kind of arrange your monitor in the best way and use the best settings for your screen. It kind of does that for you, so that's a pretty cool little advanced thing. And it also has a very slim edgeless design, very small bezels around the screen, so very cool there. It does come with a stand, and so I have the monitor right here. You can see this is from the back. It does have two lights right here that are red when you turn them on, and that's the only color that you get is red. And you can turn them on and off, but I usually leave them off. No, not a big deal for me. It does have a metal stand. It is very nice construction. It looks pretty sharp as well. I'll bring this up close to you. You can see right here is the screen. You can see it does have 3 HDMIs. It says Sceptre in the middle there, and it says the 200 refresh there. On the back side, it does have a speaker there and a speaker there, and I'm kind of give you a close up there, but it does have 3 HDMI ports and an audio out as well. And then that gray spot is where you would plug in your power adapter. Now, near that display port, your HDMI 1 does have capabilities to get a refresh rate up to 165 hertz, which is great. And then the other two HDMIs only go up to 75 hertz. So when you hook up those HDMIs, you only have a range of 75 hertz, but still pretty good that it does go up to 200 hertz with the display port. So if you want 200 hertz, you'll have to use a display port if you have that. The one thing I want to add in case I didn't is this is model C35B-200UN1. The box real quick, it does come in a very professional looking box. Sceptre has been around for a long time, and they do make various screens. There is actually various screens in this size at the 30 inches. And so just kind of keep an eye for what you want. Do you want 85 hertz, 75 hertz? You want the full 200 hertz? They have models that can go higher now these days, but 200 hertz is still really good. There's not a lot of games that go up to that right now, and also, you know, you really need some really good performance from your computer if you really want to shell out that many frames per second anyway. So the reason why I picked this up is I wanted to just get a little bit more performance out of my screen. Wanted to use it for a little bit more video editing, just light video editing, nothing crazy. And so I just wanted a little bit more picture and check out what, you know, 144 hertz or 120 hertz really look like. That's kind of the basic intro on the screen. And now we're going to get into a little bit more details, and now we're going to go talk about operation and how to hook everything up. Of course, really all you really need is an HDMI cable. Run that from your desktop, or today I'm running it with my laptop. Ryzen 5000 series with a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650, which is not a lot of power, and that's kind of the reason why I really wanted to go lighter. Even though it does have up to 200 hertz, I wanted it to be able to take, you know, 75 or 120, because I knew my laptop isn't the most powerful thing out there. It's a little bit older when it comes to graphic cards. That way I knew it would not only be able to be good right now, but it has opportunity in the futures to still put out that, you know, 200 hertz frame rate for me. Now it is 1080p only, high definition. It's not 4K, so I'm not quite keeping up with that. But the screen is very acceptable for gaming right now in 2022, in my opinion. Really easy. I'm going to go ahead and set it up. All you need to do is hook up that HDMI cable. Make sure you select which one. I'm going to go ahead and use that first HDMI. If I go to the other ones, remember it was only 75 hertz. So I'm going to go ahead and hook it up. Basically, it does come with a power adapter that you just plug in. You plug in your HDMI and get it plugged into your laptop, and go ahead and, you know, share the screen. Some laptops do that automatically. If not, you might have to get into your display settings and check that out as well. So let's go ahead and switch views here, switch around, and I'll get this hooked up. Alrighty, so I just want to point out a few quick things right now while we have it fired up. This is, of course, my opening Windows to Windows 11. I am running Windows 11. And I just want to show you that it does have some tilty-ness to it, but you can't really go like this. You can only go up or down. So it can go down a little bit, and then it can go up a little bit. But really, it's very limited on how you can aim it. You can't go this way at all. And just notice, too, that this is a 30-inch screen, but the physical bezels on this to each side are only 28 inches. And actually, the size of the screen is only 12 inches from, or a little bit less than 12 inches from top to bottom. So you're actually kind of squeezing the monitor down a little bit. So just understand, it's not like your normal 32-inch TV where it's a square and you're really getting some height on it, and then they're squeezing it down as a square. This is going to be, of course, ultra wide, and then you're squeezing the top down a little bit. So it is kind of narrow or skinny in my opinion, and it was kind of surprising when I got the box and opened it up, got in here, that you actually, you know, you think it's going to be bigger than it is, and it's not. So in my space, I think the 30-inch was the perfect size. They do make 27-inch, 25-inch, 34-inch, 32-inch, in an ultra wide, but you're definitely going to pay for, of course, the 34-inch. You're probably going to get into maybe the high 300s, almost pretty much $400. And this one, like I said, was $234, and I'll compare it with some others a little bit later. Yes, you're definitely getting into some money, and you just realize that you're losing a little bit of real estate bringing the screen down like that. So, all right, let's get into firing this bad boy up. Okay, so I want to show you a couple things in the menu really quick and show you that it's not the funnest thing to use, the menu on the actual screen, but it is useful, and it does have a lot of options for you to kind of take advantage of when you're using the screen. So my particular settings that I like to use is I'll go ahead and double click this and go into my quick start, and you can see that my volume is all the way up, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. It also has a blue light feature which will kind of give it a bluish tint to help your eyes during low light levels. If you have where bright lights really affect your eye, that blue light will kind of mute it down for you a little bit. It also has the FreeSync, which I would turn on as well. Get back into that. And to get your black light, brightness, contrast, and get to some of your presets, you actually have to turn all the FreeSync and other features that it has. You have to turn those off. So it does have some presets that give you better frame rate, but it's a give and take. You're gonna gain frame rate, but you're going to lose image quality and colors a little bit. So let's go into the next option down here. Your picture, you really only have sharpness. You will gain some of these back, like I said, if you start shutting some of the FreeSync off, which, like I said, gives you the best options for what a machine is, for what your computer or your laptop is capable for. Go down to color. Once again, you only get temperature. It does have a couple of settings here. Normal. Whoops. And you can see why it's a little issue there. Cool, user, warm, and normal. I kind of like the normal right now, so I'm going to kind of leave it right there. And on the bottom is your system. And this is where you have overdrive, FreeSync Premium, your HDR, backlight, and some other things. You can reset everything. And to get all those other options back, you have to turn off FreeSync, overdrive, and HDR. All those have to be off. So I keep those on, and I think that's kind of the best picture that I'm getting right now. It does say right now I'm getting 2560 by 1080 at 144 hertz, which it says up there in the corner. And you can also turn the light on, like I said, in the back in the options right there in your system settings. Alrighty, so that is how to operate the menu. It's a little tricky and you have to get used to it, but it does have a lot of features that you can play with. Like I said, I like using the FreeSync Premium and the overdrive and HDR, and kind of just does all the settings for you, which is kind of what I like. All right, so now we're going to talk about the panel really quick. This is a VA panel, and just to briefly break down panels, which I mean is the display panel on the actual monitor here, is lately really popular monitors are IPS, which have great color, very good clarity, but they're going to cost a premium because they're a newer technology, and they do have that great clarity and color. Your TN panels are older technology. They do have good high refresh rates. They are value priced because they've been made for a long time now, and they have really decent color as well. VA panels just started getting a little bit better in my opinion, but they were kind of in the middle between TN. TN was probably very popular, then IPS, and then VA is kind of in the middle. That's what this particular model has, is a VA, and it has good color. It has very, very good blacks. You can see that, very good blacks. You can see the difference between this line and the black stripe that's going through that logo of mine. You can see that the blacks are very, very dark, and it's very, very noticeable when you're watching like home theater movies. The deep black colors look great. But they haven't usually had great refresh rates, but they are catching up these days, and of course this one has a 200 hertz. So very, very cool. Quick breakdown of how there's the different panels. So it depends on what you need to do, depending on what kind of panel. I picked a VA panel just because I do like the very dark blacks. The refresh rate, of course, helped, and the price of this was very nice compared to an IPS display. Talk about 21.9 versus 16.9, which is their picture ratio that you're going to get on this particular monitor. And so we're going to go ahead and get to the internet real quick. Now you can see that my whole screen is taken up. It is in the 2560 by 1080. Looks fantastic in my opinion. But we're going to open the internet. Now most things do open up normal, and you can, like I can reduce this, and you see how it kind of breaks it down. Now this is reduced, but I still have plenty of real estate on my screen to open other tabs. But I kind of want to show you like what it'll do if it doesn't have that particular app or program, doesn't have the 21:9 ratio. So let's go to like YouTube. We'll pull up one of my videos here. Commercial. Now you notice that the commercial is clipping here at 16.9. So this is a 16.9 ratio. And now I'm going to go to my video here. See that it's also going to pan down. That is the speakers also on the monitor, which I don't think are fantastic. It's kind of tingy and they're not very loud, but that was the speakers on the monitor at 100%. So that was full volume and it was pretty quiet actually in my opinion. So you can see here the monitor is in the 16.9 ratio, but most programs you'll have no problem being able to get the full screen in the 21:9. So, but I just wanted to point that out in case you weren't familiar. You can actually, you could do this on a normal screen as well, but with the ultra wide, it just gives you more real estate that you can see across the whole screen. When you go to the minimize and maximize tabs, you can actually make these however you want, and it'll give you different options on what size format you want for each page. So it's pretty cool. So you can see that it's giving me 3 equal sizes there, and then I can just throw good. You can see that I can shrink them down. I want that one there, or I want to add one here, and you can see it equals it all out there. And I can still go through all these. You can see I can go through the back there on that one, but pretty cool. I do like the ability to open multiple tabs in different space with a little bit of adjusting. It's pretty fun, pretty cool, and I like having the ability to do that. All right, positives and negatives. Let's talk about it. So basically, positives right off the bat is price point, and we'll talk about really quick after I get a positive and negatives about some similar monitors that I can give to you right now, because I did a lot of research, and tell you the positives, negatives, and the reason why I went with 234 Sceptre here. But at that price point, it is very good price point for all the features that you get with this particular monitor. And let me just add, it's a 30-inch screen. It only weighs 12 pounds, so it's super light, super maneuverable if you need to move it around or do things with it. It has that high refresh rate, high motion rate, good color, extra features with the blue light, feature shift, so you can watch in low light. It does have that 21.9 aspect, but still has pretty good technology even for today, in my opinion. So really good monitor at a great value. Negatives, in my opinion, is the menu is a little hard to work with. You saw me kind of fumble around with it. I wish they could somehow put that in so you can just use a mouse and click through things. That would be a lot better, but it is what it is. Also, you really need to pay attention on the back when you're hooking things up, because you need to have things in the certain if you want 200 hertz, you need a display port. Hertz up to 165 hertz, you need to use HDMI 1. So you really kind of pay attention when you're hooking it up. So that's another negative. Super pop, but it definitely looks good. So that could be all in the eye of the beholder. So it depends on you, but with using FreeSync, in my opinion, it really does do the job and give you the best picture. You can notice a big difference when you're not using it and you're trying to mess with it yourself a little bit. So that's why I kind of like to use the FreeSync. The various research that I did for monitors. Now there is about 4 or 5 monitors out right now, and Sceptre actually has like 4 different 30-inch monitors, but you need to pay attention because they all will have different frame rates. Most of them are VA panels, so not a big difference there, but they will have different frame rates. So you will have like a 75 hertz model or an 85 hertz model, and maybe look for when they were made there, but they do have other models in about the same price range or a little bit more. So there's some other monitors out there on Amazon you might take a look at. The Viotech is a 30-inch 200 hertz VA monitor with for $279. Pretty close. There's a $299 Acer with 144 hertz and it is 25 by 1080 as well. They do have an LG 29-inch, so you're losing 1 inch, but it is an IPS display, so you will get a little bit more vibrant colors and things like that, but it's only 75 hertz. And then, which I still think is a great deal though, just like I told you, I'm usually running at 75 hertz anyways when I'm gaming, so, but you will get that nice IPS display. Also, another IPS display was an MSI that is out there with 200 hertz for $291. So it's a little bit more on the upper price levels, but definitely some options out there that you might want to take a look at that are really close in price, and I'll leave links for if you want to check them out. So this one was $234. I think that's a great value, definitely in the middle and lower price point when it comes to a monitor like this, and I think it looks great. One more negative on it really quick is those speakers. Just don't like them at all. They're really weak. They're on 100% and you could barely hear it. So if you were far away, you definitely want to hear it, and you definitely need some kind of monitor speakers or some kind of extra speakers to run with this monitor, in my opinion. So other than that, I think that is it. Hopefully I got a lot of information out to you today on the Sceptre C30 Ultra Wide. The model number again is the C305B-200UN1. This is the Sceptre C30 Ultra Wide curved gaming monitor. So since I have a laptop on a little bit of the lower end graphic cards and CPU, GPU, I of course got this monitor because I knew it would be able to perform with a lower end laptop. Now if you have an upper very expensive laptop that can push a lot of graphics and a lot of power out of it, this will work great for you as well, because you will be able to get up to the 200 hertz, but then I would probably recommend going up to maybe a 2K with 2560 by 1440. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much, DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. If this was helpful at all, give me a like or subscribe, or check out the next video that comes out really soon. Got tons of more items for you, all kinds of items. Bring them to you on DJ Martini Midwest Reviews, so check me out soon. Kind of just show a quick clip of some gameplay for you, just so you can see where I was getting constant 60 no problem, and then also show you the frame rate when I was pushing it between 60 and 85 there when I was playing Fortnite. So pretty decent to me. And like I said, I'm not an avid gamer, but I do like to play occasionally. Let's go ahead and give you that game clip.